All right, welcome to another book review from me because I read a book. The book is Find Me from Alafair Burke, and I believe this is I think this is the second book I've ever read from this author. Except I can't remember what the first one was, although I believe it's in this same series. Let me explain. I went to BoucherCon this year. Amazing if you're a reader or an author, if you're a thriller author, especially crime fiction. It is phenomenal. I will not be going in 2026. It's in Calgary. That's just too far of a walk for me. But while I was there, I met Alafair Burke. She was on a couple of panels. She was interesting. I'm just gonna throw this out there real quick. Her father's James Lee Burke. I'm sure she's sick of hearing that and all that because she has a phenomenal career on her own. So, and she's written a ton of good books. Everybody loves them. Everybody's telling me, you got to read her. You got to read her. I met her. She was very nice. I got a picture with her. It was all good. So now I'm like, you know what? I'm going to read something by her. I got like a hair on my tongue. I'm going to read something by her. Normally what I'll do is with an author with so many things, I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna get it from the library. I'm gonna read a book from her, and if I like the book, I will buy more books in this series. Usually that's what will happen. And I just was like, all right, let me just look, let me just go through the library and see books. And I saw Find Me, and it was like, okay, you know what? The premise is interesting. It seems like a good book. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get this and I'm going to read it. And then I read it. Okay. Before I get to the actual review of this book, I realized this is in the Ellie Hatcher series, and this is the 6th book. Came out in 2022. First one came out in 2007. That was Dead Connection. So I don't know if I believe I've read one of these other books. I had not read this one before, but I remember the character in this. So it's like, okay, you know what? I think I've read one of the other books. So that being said, I'm already going to order the first couple books in this series. The good part is you don't have to read the other 5 books to get into this book. There's one or two plot things that I'm like, all right, well, that's obviously, like, if this is a first book or a standalone, that's just giving you some backstory on the character, okay? And yeah, so there you go. But you don't have to read this in order. But I would say start with Dead Connection, the first book. This is the 6th book, and maybe the last book in this series. I don't know. This came out in 2022, but I'm looking at Dead Connection came out in 2007. Angel's Tip came out in 2008. 212 came out in 2010. Never Tell came out in 2012. All Day and a Night came out in 2014, but then she didn't get back to the series till 2022. In the meantime, she wrote a bunch of other stuff. She wrote several books with Mary Higgins Clark. She's got other bunch of standalone novels, couple of short stories. And she also has the Samantha Kincaid series, which that's only 3 books, 2003, 4, and 5. So I'm going to guess that series is done. So I'm not sure. This is like the latest I see in this list, except for a couple of. She had a 2023 she co-authored with Mary Higgins Clark, and The Note is her 2025 book. So hopefully she'll get back to this series. Who can say? Because I like this character. I like all the characters in this book. Here's my. First off, I'm going to give you my problem with the book. There are a bunch of characters. Okay, there are a couple of sets of men and women relationships. There's cops. There's lawyers. There's a lot of people to keep track of. And I guess obviously, if you've read the other 5 books, you would figure it out. you'd be like, oh, okay, I know these characters, or at least I know Ellie Hatcher, that character, and her stuff. So at first, when I started reading this, I was like, I don't, I'm getting confused on the characters. And that's me as a reading thing, because here's the problem as well. I started the book, and then Thanksgiving happens, my birthday happens, a lot of stuff happens. So I'm only reading like a chapter or two a week. And so that did not help. So when I finally got into a couple days ago, I was like, you know what? I'm going to finish this book. I got half this book left. I'm going to read this book because I'm starting to really like it. I'm liking the twist. I don't know where this is going. And so normally I'm like, I do not like, I'm going to tell you what I don't like. I don't like political thrillers. I don't like courtroom thrillers, which this is not. It's not a political thriller either. And I don't normally like police procedural thrillers. And this really isn't. It has some police. Obviously, there's a couple of police, a man and a woman in it, but there's not a lot of that. It's really just a really good thriller. It's basically, the premise is that the main character, Hope, is she has amnesia. She's had it for 15 years. She had a car accident, and she has no idea who she is. And now she moves to a different place, and somebody from her past who she doesn't know reappears, and chaos ensues. I thought it was well written. It kept me going. The only reason it took me so long to read it was because of life getting in the way. And I was annoyed with that, because I normally read every night. I'll either read something on my Amazon Fire, or I'll read a print book, and I'll go back and forth. And I was getting into this, but I was so tired at night. I was reading like a chapter if I got lucky. And there were a lot of nights I didn't even read. I was up till after 11 p.m., which is insane to be up that late. I really liked it. I really liked all the once I figured out who the characters were in my mind, and all of the other characters. And again, obviously Ellie Hatcher is the series. So I don't know if any of these other characters are brand new, if they're just created for this book. But if they are, kudos to the author, because there's some great backstory. There's some great relationship things that happen during this book, and I enjoyed it. I thought it was well written, and it just makes me want to read more from this author. Sometimes I read a book and I'm like, oh, that was pretty good. I move on to the next thing. With this, I'm like, oh, wait a minute. After the fact, I realized, wait, this is a series, and this is the 6th book in this. I got to read these other 5 books. So that's what I will be on. So look for reviews coming up in the next several months when I grab these books. I have about 1 billion books on my TBR pile. I might do a video next week of my, I don't know, 50 books on my to be read pile. Just print books. Just print books. It's crazy. So there you go. Read it. If you've read it, let me know what you thought. If you've read this book, let me know. Be like, you know what? I loved it. I loved the whole series. You're an idiot. You read the 6th book, kind of thing. So let me know. And if you haven't read it, let me know. Like, hey, you know what? You piqued my interest. I'm going to read this book now. Or say to me, no. You need to read this or this from Alafair Burke. These are also very good books you need to read by the author. So yeah, and hopefully I'll run into her again at a future BoucherCon. Not next year, but the next 3 years are close enough that I should be around to go to them. 2026, I probably won't go to much of anything, but 2027, we're going to go back to BoucherCon, and we're going to enjoy ourselves. Whew! All right, so in closing, read this book. Alafair Burke, find me. I don't want to give, I don't do spoilers. I don't want to give you a synopsis of the entire book. That annoys me. But I would just say, check it out. Go on Amazon, go on bookshop.org. Go to the bookstore. Leave your house, go to an independent bookstore, and find this book. read it, read the inside. Like, you know what? That does sound interesting. Boom. Buy the book. Thank you for listening to me ramble on for 10 minutes or so. I appreciate it. I actually really do. If there's anything out there that you have read recently in crime fiction, then let me know. I want to read it. I'm trying to read some classics, and I'm also trying to read some of the new stuff. So you'll see more and more of these reviews in the coming weeks, months, years, decades, millennium, eons, whatever. Anyway, thanks. Appreciate it. And I appreciate if you would like this enough and you're like, you know what, I like this enough, I'm going to hit the like button. I'm also going to subscribe so I can watch some of his other movie video reviews, book reviews. I interview thriller authors. I drink a ton of coffee. I talk about writing and my writing journey and different things. So lots to share on this YouTube channel. So do me a favor and just, I don't know, watch some stuff for me. I appreciate it.